And there we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone around the country who's tuned into our live broadcast. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 45 minutes with you. We're going to go over who DuePoint is, what we're all about, what the opportunity is all about. And then after the presentation, if you have any questions, you are very welcome to come speak to me and ask me any of those questions. So let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We were formed in 1952. We've been around for a very long time, nearly 70 years in the financial space here in South Africa. We don't share offices with Constantia, but they are just down the road from us here in Randburg. That's the branding that they use. The FSP number that we use that is very important. It's that one over there. You'll notice in our foyer above the water cooler, we've got all our financial services board licenses on display. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license and investment license. We've got our FSP license on display as per regulation. And we've also put up our accreditation with the direct marketing and the direct selling associations. That is our stamp of credibility. I'm hoping that our credibility will allay any fear that you might have had thinking, oh, I've been invited to one of those presentations or it's one of these schemes or any of that. We're not any of that, so go take a look at that. The executives and managers here at DuePoint are these individuals up on screen. The first three characters on the far left are all registered chartered accountants, starting with Mr. Benfield. He's our senior executive. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because he's been entrenched in insurance his entire life. His father is a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. His father founded Clientele Life and started the IFA all those many, many years ago with much success. Brendan and his brother Stuart followed in their father's footsteps. Both became accountants, both got into insurance and went on to found a business up the road called Prime Meridian Direct, which is now the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country in less than 10 years. So we're very lucky to have Brendan heading up this division because of all that financial pedigree. Then we got Tim and Stacey. They look after all the auditing, the accounting, the financial requirements in the business. Tim's very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group in a very senior position there for about 15 years. Stacey has worked in auditing all her young life, should I say. So she was with Deloitte pretty much since she graduated. She worked here as well as overseas in Europe, and before she came back to South Africa and joined the team here. And then the two non-accountants, Jane and myself. Jane is very experienced in network marketing or referral marketing, and that's pretty important to us because even though we're an insurance business, our growth in South Africa's market is dependent on our ability to work in the network marketing space. And Jane brings international experience because she's from the UK. She brings that international experience to our team. And then myself, I've been working in advertising for over 20 years. I ran my own digital agency for about 15 years that predominantly worked with a lot of financial institutions, the big banks, etc. So that's the team. A little bit of background on us, on the business. You're welcome to go look on our website. We've got a bit more information there, and then you can go check on Hello Peter to see if we've done any bad things in the past. Right? My point is that you need to trust the business we're going to be speaking about today. Trust is a huge part of making or accepting any proposition. So go do that for yourselves. Very quickly, we want to pay a little bit of cognizance, a bit of respect to the circumstance that we all find ourselves in. Everyone here today is looking for something extra, right? So I don't really have to go on about the economy and how bad it is and our circumstance and the debt cycle that all of us are in that we can't seem to get ourselves out of. But you're here today because you want to mitigate that risk. We realize that employment and our salaries aren't doing everything that we need it to do. And so we're in this position where we're looking for something extra, and this business is about changing your circumstance. It's about giving you opportunity that allows you to get out of the debt cycle, that allows you to set up your retirement to a retirement that has dignity, one that you can look forward to and not one that you fear, right, when you start getting a little older. So out of all of this negativity, the circumstance that a lot of South Africans find themselves in, Constantia saw the opportunity to create this division called DuePoint, which we launched just over 2 years ago, and we launched the DuePoint system. And the DuePoint system basically allows people to come and create additional income for themselves and, like I said, change their circumstance. But beyond that, beyond just putting extra money in your back pocket, we've got other aspirations for people in this business, because the business is really about the opportunity to create wealth. And you can't create wealth just by earning extra money. You have to start thinking differently about money to create wealth. And so our first aspiration for people in this business is to get rid of their debt as quickly as possible. That additional income you should use to empower yourself to get rid of debt completely. Because if you want to be wealthy, you can't become wealthy owing other people money. And so we get rid of our debt first, then we start creating wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments that appreciate. That's when you start creating assets that have wealth to them, and you become wealthy through that process. And then ultimately, if you are debt-free, so if you've got no debt, right, you know at the end of the month when you get all those SMSs from the bank, right, chasing you. You get about 20. How many do you get at the moment? Right? You get so many. Now the bank is starting to put more of them in one SMS because you get so many, right? Imagine having none of those SMSs. You don't have any debt to pay. All the money that lands in your account stays there until you decide what to do with it. And if you're starting to create wealth, if you're in the position where you're able to start creating investments for yourself and buy assets, the last aspiration is to be happier. Do you think you'll be happier if you find yourself in that circumstance? I hope so, right? Money solves about 95% of our problems. So those are the aspirations of our business for people that join us here at DuePoint. And you can align yourself with those aspirations, or you don't have to. It's completely up to you. But basically, our guests here today, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. What happens is once you join us, you enter into a contract with us, and once you've joined us, we call you, or we refer to you as wealth engineers. Right? Because we're here to engineer our wealth. And as wealth engineers, you've only got one task, and that is to build what we call a channel of distribution. Right? A network, a channel of distribution. That's what we're going to be tasked with as wealth engineers. And basically, it is you going out and just telling people about DuePoint. The same way you were introduced to DuePoint, you're going to do exactly the same thing, introduce other people to DuePoint. And when they come and sit down in front of a presentation like this, decide to become a wealth engineer, take out one of our products. So our online systems facilitate the sale of those products. You don't. That is basically how this business works. The benefit for you in that process, if you're successful in that process, you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. But what's more important is the nature of that income stream. We call it recurring income. Some people refer to it as passive income. I love the way my father described it to me when I was a lot younger. He said it's the ability to make money while you're sleeping. This was notable for him because I think he's been a gold miner, so he's been a miner his entire life. If you want to make money in being a gold miner, there's no other way except digging gold out of the ground every single hour of the day. You know these mines, they work on public holidays, they work on Sundays, they've got night shifts. There isn't a minute that goes by where they aren't mining gold, right? In this business, you can actually put effort and invest time into building your channel and distribution in 1 month that'll pay you in multiple months. You don't have to be like a gold miner or an employee, because employees are in the same position where you have to work every minute for your salary. You can start building a channel of distribution that pays out recurring income, potentially for years beyond the effort that you put in originally. So it is an awesome benefit. It's actually something that's inherent to insurance companies. The power duplication. Our DuePoint system, we've built it with leverage in mind. So the leverage in mind is your ability to multiply yourself, right? It is similar to being a sales director instead of a salesperson. A sales director earns a little bit of commission off of every salesperson working for him, but a salesperson only earns commission off of the sales that they do. You want to be the sales director. In this business, you get to do something similar. The people that you introduce to the business, you're going to collaborate with them, they're going to collaborate with you, and your recurring income will go up based on both of your efforts, right? So that's what we call leverage, and I'll show it to you. I'll illustrate it to you with some of our wealth engineers a little later on. Our business is flexi time. Because of the technology we've invested in, you can do this business anywhere in South Africa at any time of the day. Any time of the day. It can be 3 a.m. in the morning. You can be in Pofadder. You can still do this business, right? There is no limitation because of the technology we've invested in, no limitation in terms of when you want to do this business. You get to decide how DuePoint fits into your life. There's no startup capital. We don't ask you for investment fees or to put money into a starter kit or to buy a huge box of products to get started in this business. The business is designed to be risk-free. We want to make this business as accessible as possible, and so we don't want it to be a financial burden to anybody, right? So we make it as low cost as possible, that qualifications or experience are never an issue. That's notable because we work in financial services. If anyone's worked in financial services, you'll appreciate the amount of regulation you have to abide by in financial services. I heard a figure, about 80,000 financial advisors left the industry. They left the industry because it was too onerous. You get to enjoy the benefits of being in financial services without that onerous regulation. So this is probably, for me, the most important point, and that's build an asset. You get to build an asset that you have ownership over. So we call it legal tender. You have legal tender over the channel of distribution that you're building. That means you can sell this business. If you build it up where it's paying you out a certain amount of recurring income, it will have intrinsic value. That asset will have value. You can sell that asset. The asset will keep paying out. You'll keep earning recurring income if you build a channel of distribution beyond retirement. In employment, when you start getting close to 60, the boss starts eyeing you out and going, we can let this one go. Right? My wife's a labor litigator for the biggest private employer in the country, 160,000 staff. I know what I'm talking about when I talk about people getting close to 60, they get rid of them. Right? They offer you a package in this economy. In this economy. This business will pay you beyond retirement. You can carry on doing the business through your 60s, through your 70s, through your 80s. It doesn't matter. This business will keep paying you once you die. Because an asset, the value of an asset doesn't disappear when you die. Who would like to pass wealth onto their kids and their grandchildren? How many of us are going to pass debt onto our children and our grandchildren? Right? Majority of South Africans do. Debt doesn't disappear either. It doesn't disappear on death. The bank just starts phoning somebody else, right? We want to pass wealth on. So, knowing that you're building an asset, you should be happy to sacrifice time with DuePoint because you're building an asset you have ownership over. There's no selling in our business, so we actually contract you out of selling. That means we, in our code of conduct with you, say you're not allowed to sell or advise anyone on our products. That's a great thing. Who wants to sell things on the weekends to their friends? Right? What we're going to be doing is purely and simply connecting people to a financial opportunity. It is the most attractive commodity that exists in South Africa today, is financial opportunity. If you say to someone, do you want to earn something extra? 99% of them are going to say, yes, please. Right? We are not here to, your job is not to sell products. That is my job. I will do that. You connect people to me, I will do the rest of the work for you in a presentation like this. All right? Our products are also convenient because they are financial in nature. Like I said, we don't have boxes of product you have to buy. One gentleman arrived last night in a bakkie. He thought he was going to take home milkshakes and vitamins after the presentation. We don't have any of that. Our product doesn't expire. We don't have to fight for space at home with the spouse where we're going to put the boxes. Right? Our products are very convenient because we don't have those issues. But your success in our business is dependent on your ability to build a channel of distribution. So I'm going to show you what a channel of distribution looks like. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer. You take out one of our products, and you are going out and going to connect, like I say, other people to the financial opportunity that exists at DuePoint. When people are interested and they come to a presentation or they watch the live stream or you've got it on your laptop or your iPad, whatever the case is, you show them the presentation, they are taken by the opportunity, they say, yes, I want to become a wealth engineer and start creating some money for myself. They take out one of our products, and that is the beginning of your channel of distribution. What has happened now is your channel of distribution will take on a life of its own, right? Because beyond that, these people that you brought into the business are going to go out and start building their channels of distribution, in turn yours. Do you see the power duplication? This is what we call leverage. Because in this illustration, this is what your entire channel of distribution looks like in this example. You are earning off of every single person with a product here. But you only added 5 people into the business. That is what we call leverage, right? It is a wonderful thing, leverage. Because we have all got very little time to spend, right? We're doing our day jobs, we've got families, we've got very little time to invest into DuePoint, but know that there's leverage. If you bring quality individuals into your business, they will help you do majority of the work. And that's what a channel of distribution looks like. That's what you're going to be building from today. If you are successful in this, if you're able to build a quality business with quality individuals in, you will have the luxury of having a business that will pay you every single month without you having to nurse it anymore. That is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. You will wake up in the morning and your channel will be bigger than it was yesterday, even though you did nothing yesterday. Right? That's why we invest time into an asset, because assets pay out without needing effort on our parts. Right, so that's what a channel of distribution looks like. You'll be warned. So in the beginning of the presentation, I tried to allay your fears, and it's a very legitimate fear. A lot of people have been burnt in the entrepreneurial space. Right, if you want to call these get-rich-quick schemes entrepreneurial opportunities, they are designed to fleece people of their money. Right? There are many of them in South Africa, and so it's a legitimate fear if you came to the presentation thinking, oh my goodness, have I been invited to another one of those things? We are not one of those businesses. We're a 70-year-old insurance company. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange, and we are heavily regulated by the Financial Services Board. This is an authentic opportunity. At the same time, do not romanticize entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It isn't easy. Those get-rich-quick schemes, they'll say to you, it's easy. You will get rich quickly. Right? That's the narrative of a get-rich-quick scheme. We are not one of those. We will say to you, we have an opportunity for everyone, an equal opportunity that allows you to create recurring income, but you have to work for it. So that's the opportunity, right? That is my disclaimer, my warning slide. As any other insurance business or financial services provider, we have got financial products. So I'm going to go over the financial products now. We've got 3 of them. Their benefit to you is all financial in nature. So our first product is called Access Wealth. It is 324 Rand per month, of which 100 Rand will be invested into a tax-free investment fund in your name. And on top of that, we give you a second part of the product, and that is some insurance. So if you've got the investment, you also get 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. If you are killed in a car accident and you've got this investment, we will pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever's in the investment. The investment has no notice period. That means you can draw the investment out immediately if you so wish. Right? So this is our investment product, Access Wealth, product number 1. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is 299 Rand a month. It is strictly insurance. So this is only insurance. There's no investment on this product, only insurance, but you get 1.2 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Now note that I say personal accident cover. I'm not saying funeral cover. I'm not saying full comprehensive insurance. It is not that. The beauty of this product, because it only covers you through death by accident, so it excludes illness and natural causes. But the beauty of that, the advantage of that, is that I can offer this product to anyone regardless of your age and regardless of your health status. You can be 70 years old, diabetic with heart problems. I can offer you this product at the same price with the same amount of cover. Those other products can't. You try get full-blown life insurance at 60. It's going to cost you an absolute fortune a month, right? So this is the beauty of the product. Wealth Guard is accessible to everybody over the age of 18. Our third product is called Wealth Points. Wealth Points aims to save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway, your cost of living expenses. So if you look at the businesses that are listed here, these are our partners that we've partnered with. We've negotiated discounts with them. I bet you spend money with at least one of those partners. At least one of them, right? So if you go to any of these partners, we've got negotiated discounts that you get to enjoy, right? 299 Rand a month. For example, always on Wi-Fi data. They've got 2,500 hotspots around the country. If you buy a gig of data from them, they will charge the man in the street 100 Rand for a gig. For our Wealth Points members, they charge you 37 Rand. Do you see? Discounts with everybody. We are adding new businesses to this all the time. We've just added Jaguar Land Rover Santon. So if it's anyone that's about to buy a Range Rover, please come do it through these guys. You're going to get the best price in the country and the best service, right? So that's Wealth Points. Immediate benefit, wonderful product. If you have any question on the products, come speak to me. So what separates us from these other businesses, these other financial institutions, other insurance companies? Basically, those companies, traditional insurance companies, spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising, right? A massive amount of their budget every month, daily, goes towards advertising. That's how they get their products to market. At DuePoint, we don't spend a cent of advertising. We don't do any marketing. We rely on our wealth engineers to go out and tell people about DuePoint. That's how we get growth in South Africa's market. What that means is that we don't have to spend billions on advertising every single year like the rest of the insurance industry does every single year. We can take that portion of our budget and attribute it to our returns program and our rewards program. That's where you benefit. So in other words, we take that money, that budget, and we pay it to our wealth engineers. Right? So the primary way to earn here at DuePoint is the recurring income, which is through what we call our returns program. It is the return that we pay you every single month. So the return works like this. We pay out a base return fee of R27.50 for every product in your channel. Remember that diagram with all the dots on the screen? R27.50 for every single dot every single month, right? But it's actually dependent on where that product lies in relation to you. So we call it points. So the first 5 people that you introduce to DuePoint, those people lie on your first point. They are 1 point away from you. You introduce them personally. And on point 1, we actually pay you R55 for every single product every single month, right? It's recurring income. Then as your channel starts to grow to the second point, again, you get paid R55 for every product. To the third point, you see the multiplier drops back to 100%, so you're earning the R27.50 again. And then as your channel grows and grows and grows further and further away from you, the multiplier drops to 4% by 0.8. But what's important to note is from 0.8 onwards, that's why we have a little plus there, from 0.8 onwards, we'll keep paying you that 4% into infinity. In theory, we do not limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get. There is no limitation. There's no year modes, none of that stuff, right? The onus falls squarely on your shoulders. How big a channel do you want? We've got channels at 0.30 already in 24 months, right? It is up to you. So that's the mechanics of our returns. Often the next question that we get is, well, how much do people earn in this business? Beyond the R55, what can I expect in the business? So we built this projection. It's over the next 5 years. So picture, you want a 5-year plan? Did your dad ever say to you, what's your 5-year plan? My dad used to say that to me. It used to drive me crazy. I don't have a 5-year plan. I'm only 7. Leave me alone. Right? So here, I've got a 5-year plan for you. The 5-year plan comes with an expectation, an assumption of how active you're going to be as a wealth engineer. The expectation is that in your first month, you can add 3 people into your channel in your first month. And every month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2 new people. So we call it the 3+2 growth formula. 3 in April, right? 2 in May, 2 in June, 2 in July. You just keep bringing 2. It's 1 person every 2 weeks into the business. If you can follow that activity, you can be earning about R2,500 after 6 months of work. Now, many people, I know, there's not too much disappointment on your faces, but I know in your heart you're feeling disappointed because you thought you came to a get-rich-quick scheme, right? R2,500 after 6 months. It was my same reaction. The accountants came up with this, right? And I saw it. I said, R2,500 after 6 months. Who's going to join with that amount of money? But what I started to appreciate with time was the mistake in myself. I look at money from a consumer point of view. Imagine I had hidden R2,500 under everybody's seat today. Imagine you looked under your seat. There was R2,500. My question is, how long will the R2,500 last? Monday? Sunday? Maybe only tomorrow, right? Because when we look at the value of money, we put a spending value on it. We go, well, what can I spend R2,500? Is it worth my time? 6 months of time for R2,500, I can maybe buy 1 week's of groceries or 2 weeks of groceries. That doesn't seem valuable to me. But remember, I said we need to start thinking differently about creating wealth. Our first aspiration, pay your debt off faster. Don't buy more things. Pay your debt off faster. Why? Because look here. Here's someone with a R1 million bond. They owe the bank R1 million for the house that they've been financed, typically over a 20-year term. So you go to the bank, they give you the R1 million, you say, okay, I agree to pay you back over 20 years. At prime +2, you're going to be paying the bank back on a R1 million house, 11,500 Rand a month. All right? That's how much you're going to pay for 20 years. So if you're 40, you're only going to become a homeowner when you're 60. Right? That's when you'll make your last payment. But at 40, you join DuePoint, and 6 months later, with some success, you're earning R2,500. You listen to Rob, you put the money into your debt. You put the R2,500 as an extra payment into your bond. You'll reduce that bond from 20 years. You'll pay that house off in 11.5 years instead of 20. A 20% extra payment reduces your bond by nearly 50%. Do you see? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I'm putting in 20% extra. It is reducing my bond by nearly 50%. That is the secret of compound interest. Our problem is we're on the wrong side of compound interest. The bank is on the right side of compound interest. And that's why we pay our debt off faster. Because this process saves you, in payments to the bank, it saves you nearly R1 million. At 12 months, we're sitting at in excess of 100,000 Rand in annual recurring income. Who would like to come to DuePoint's office once a year just before Christmas to pick up a 100,000 Rand check? What does your Christmas look like with an extra 100,000 rand? That's 12 months away, guys. Remember, we're doing 2 new people every month, right? At year 2, 24 months, you could be earning 30,000 a month. How quickly did that return escalate? We were very disappointed with 2,500, but at 30,000 extra every single month in 24 months' time, well, that'll make anyone's life a little different. We keep going at month 36. That's 3 years' time. You're earning nearly 50,000 rand a month. We've got a bond example here of a 5 million rand bond at month 30. You're earning about 36,000 rand a month. If you take that 36,000 rand and instead of going out and financing a Range Rover, right, because I know a lot of you want to do that, especially the men, right? If you take that money and do the boring thing, the very boring thing of putting it into your bond, into a 5 million rand bond, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. At the age of my age, so I'm 40 now, at the age of 47, I'll pay my first house off. So now I've paid my debt off, and now I can start creating wealth. I create wealth through the ownership of assets. So I decide to invest in property. I buy another 5 million rand house. I pay that off at the age of 54, right, 7 years later. 7 years after that, I've paid off my third house, 5 million rand house. Now I'm retired. I'm 61. I'm retired. I go home to a house that I paid off 14 years ago, and I'm getting rental income to the value of 60,000, 70,000 a month. Plus, where's DuePoint going to be in 21 years' time for me? That is what I want for people, for wealth engineers in this business. We have to make the decision 20 years before we get to enjoy those fruits of our labor, of those boring decisions we make. At month 48, 4 years, you're close to 70,000 rand a month. At 60 months, 5 years from today, you could be earning an extra 1 million rand a year. Who believes that's even possible for them? 1 million a year. Extra, over and above your salary job. At what stage in this process do you tell your boss what you really think about them? 5 years. You've got to be earning the 1 million to tell your boss what you think about them, right? Then you can walk out the door with a smile on your face. But you can argue that this is only academic, because it is. It's just theory, right? The accountants came up with this projection. It's based on doing 3 + 2 every month. You can be one of the wealth engineers that become a wealth engineer and do nothing. 0 + 0. You can do 3 + 2 and expect these kind of numbers. You can also do more than 3 + 2. We've got wealth engineers that we invite up onto our stage every single month. They come talk to us. They tell us their experience, and we look at their numbers. So here's George and Bridget. They're from Port Elizabeth. Last month, their returns were sitting at 5,500 rand a month. We have paid them to date 33,000 rand. They are doing less than 3 + 2. Less than 3 + 2. They've already earned 33,000 rand. Their channel size. So we talk about leverage. Remember, I said you bring in a few people, you're going to have a channel that's larger than the people you brought in. They brought in 18 people. Their channel sitting on 150. That is leverage, the power of duplication, the power of collaboration. We've got Zacchaeus and Tamani. He's from Mpumalanga. He joined in June, so he's been here for, 8, 9 months. Value of his channel last month was sitting at 7,500 rand per month. He's got 250 products in his channel. He only brought in 28. Right? We've got Marsha and Rulof. They joined us the day we launched DuePoint. 6th of February 2016. The value of their channel last month was sitting at 34,000 rand a month. Right? That's in 2 years. So they are way ahead of 3 + 2. They've got 2,500 people sitting in their channel. What else do we have here? 17 points open. You won't know what that means. They've got 162 products to go before they get to rank 11. When they get an extra 162 products in their channel, we'll be buying them a brand new car. That's waiting for them, right? We've got thousands of wealth engineers that are joining this business every single month. Everyone is running a different race. Everyone's running a different race, right? All different circumstances, different factors. Decide what race you want to run, how fast you want to run it. It is freedom of choice in this business, equal opportunity. You decide what you want. I can put all the money on the table. I can put the car on the table. Everything is on the table for everybody in this room. Every single person has got the same opportunity to come grab what they want off the table. It is a decision you guys need to make, right? So this is the returns program. The decision you really need to make is not whether you want the 1 million rand a year. The decision is, will I be accountable to fitting DuePoint into my life on a daily basis? That's the decision. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. It's about, are you willing to do it? Right? Everyone wants. We all want. Are you willing to do it? Right? That's the decision for me. Getting started, very easy. Read your code of conduct with us. That's very important. That's our contract with you. Register as a wealth engineer. So you've got to just register online to become a wealth engineer. It literally takes you about 7 minutes to do that. And suddenly you have this asset that you own that you need to start building. Right? Complete online training. This will help you. This will encourage you. This will empower you to build your channel of distribution better and faster. So watch the training. Don't gloss over the training. Try understand everything that we talk about in the training. Set goals for yourselves. That is so important. So few people actually set goals for themselves. Right? People think fantasizing about what they want is goal setting. It isn't. Goal setting requires courage. Because I'm betting that I can get somewhere in a certain amount of time. And some people are scared to do that because they think, well, what if I don't get there? Am I a failure? There's no failure in goal setting. If I want to get to R1 million after 5 years and I only get to 800,000 Rand after 5 years, do you think that's a failure? No, but I need the direction. Because if I don't have the goal, I can't prepare a plan. And you have to have a plan. Right? Start talking to people. That's the activity. We can build the most perfect system in the world. Unless you're speaking to people every day, you're not doing the business. So it's about speaking to someone. Just connect. Everyone needs money. Connect those people to DuePoint. That's all you need to do. So getting started, very simple. Consider getting merchandise. So the merchandise is designed, again, to empower you building your channels of distribution. Business cards, for me, are the most important. You cannot sit across from someone and propose a business opportunity and not have business cards. Your credibility just falls short if you don't have business cards. So consider getting the business cards. I promise you, when you get a little more successful, I will buy you very fancy business cards. I'm going to show you them in a second. All our videos are on the memory stick, right? So you can come to live presentations, you can tune into YouTube, or you can just show people the presentation off the USB stick, right? Off your laptop if you've got a laptop. And we've got a host of other merchandise. It's all on display in the merchandise cabinet. Pricing's on the counter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, because it'll tell you every time that camera gets turned on, right? The camera empowers you to build your channel anywhere in the country. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our mobile app. You have to have the mobile app running on your smartphones. I'm talking to everybody. Our wealth engineers in this room, everyone that's tuned in on a live stream, you have to have the app running on your smartphone. If you do not have the app, you are stuck in the mud. Because the app is the way we communicate with everybody. The app is the way that you see what your business is doing, right? So make sure you download that app. And yeah, a little bit of an update on what we've done just this week. We are always developing the app. So a new update is this little pink dot that you see next to the menu button. That's a menu button. A little pink dot says you've got communication from head office. So you click on the button, it opens up the menu. It says notices. You've got one notice. You click on one notice and it tells you what the notice is. This is a shortcut to the live stream. You just click on that button and the live stream opens on its own on YouTube, right? So we're going to be doing all our communication through this new update that we've done on the app. This month we are running an incentive called Young Guns. The challenge is, when you're building your channel, to bring in some young people. Do you know how hard it is to bring young people into this business? Right? When you're under 30, you still think you're going to be a billionaire. Right? You still got the billionaire plan, the 5-year plan. And then life comes and chops you at the ankles and says, no, not for you. Right? So young people are quite challenging to bring into the business. Young people I get most excited about. Because a young person, if they start in this business at 20, I know by the time they are 40, empowering, powerful, not having to rely on the economy and the job system and all of that, right? So if you can bring in 2 young people under age of 30 while you build your channel this month and help them get qualified, so you've got to assist them getting 3 people of their own, I'll give you 5,000 Rand in cash. Or you can take the big screen TV, which is a smart TV. It's got YouTube running on there. It's a flat LED panel. Or you can take the iPad. That's your choice. That's just building your business during this month, right? So that's our incentive for April. For our bigger, heavier, more experienced wealth engineers, we've got another incentive, 25,000 reward if they're able to bring in any five new wealth engineers and assist them to get to rank 2. So they've got to assist those people to get 20 people each into their channels, and if they do that, there's 25 grand. Just doing this process will increase your recurring income by 6,000 a month. So in the middle of June, just after May, you will get 25,000 plus the guaranteed 6,000. That's 31 grand extra for 3 months' work. Right? That's on offer. If you are ranked 2, 3, or 4, you should be looking at this. And this is a day. You've got to work hard. This is daily work. Daily work. You can't skip a day if you're going for that. So that's our returns program. Now I want to talk to you about our XP rewards program. Our rewards program is not about earning recurring income. Right, that's the returns program. The rewards program, the XP rewards program, is something extra. It's a little bit of fun along the way. It's like a big incentive program, a giant incentive program. So when you start doing business as a wealth engineer, you're going to attend presentations, whether it be here or at home or wherever. You're going to have guests with you. You're going to be logging into your app. When you do all of these activities, we give you something called experience points. XP, experience points. And when you start collecting more and more experience points and your channel is growing at the same time, we reward you with little rewards along the way. So if you start out today, you will be ranked 0. You're off the screen. You want to get on the screen. Right? Because when you get on the screen at rank 1, you only need 1,000 XP. 1,000 XP you can do in 30 seconds. You come speak to me afterwards. I'll tell you how to get 1,000 XP in less than a minute. You need 4 products in your qualified channel. And when you meet those 2 criteria, you'll become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and we give you just an extra 55 Rand reward at the end of the month, right? Once off. It's not recurring, just once off. But as you start collecting more XP and your channel starts to grow, you start ranking up. And as you rank up, the rewards are bigger every time. There's 20,000 Rand waiting for you, 50,000 Rand. We give you this fancy little USB stick at rank 5. That's got all our videos on there that plugs into any device. It allows you to show people the DuePoint opportunity. It doesn't matter. You can plug it into their cell phones. You can plug it into tablets, TVs, laptops, computers. It allows you to build your channel faster and more effectively. At rank 7, remember I said I'd buy you fancy business cards. When you get to rank 7, we will spend 12,500 Rand buying you 1 set of business cards. That's how much these cards cost us. That's our cost price, right? 12,500. Why are they so expensive? Because we use 4 sheets of board to make 1 business card. The edges and the logo, you can see there, are gilded in gold. Remember the Bibles in the old days? It had the gold edges. It's the same process called gilding. It's only 1 person in the entire country that can do it. Right? An old man. When he dies, I don't know what we're going to do. Right? He's the only person. When you put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table, everyone is going to listen to what you have to say. Because your business card costs about 50 times more than anyone else that you could be sitting across from the CEO of Anglo American. He's going to look at your business card and say, tell me what DuePoint's all about. These are tools to help you. At rank 9, it's our first recurring reward. Our first recurring reward. This happens every single year. When you get to rank 9, we invite you and your kids and the spouse, if you love them, to our rank 9 conference. Our rank 9 conference is every year business class flights for everyone. Business class flights for everyone. 7 days away to a 5-star tier 1 luxury overseas resort every single year for the rest of your life. We've had wealth engineers do it in 5 months. You've got 9 months before our next one. And don't worry, if you don't make this year's, you come next year. We don't reset your XP at the end of the year. You just keep building, keep building. You will get closer every day to rank 9, right? So take a look at what we do on our rank 9 conferences. This is what was last December's rank 9 trip. That's available for every single person in the room. Everyone in the room. No excuses. You can all get there, whether it's in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's even worth working 5 years to get to this trip, because it's going to happen for you and your family every single year for the rest of your life. No more economy. Who likes to fly economy? No one likes to fly economy, right? They squeeze you in there, right? Business class only. At rank 11, this is where Marsha and Rulof are right around. Actually, we've got 2 wealth engineers that are days away from getting rank 11. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 and buy you a brand new car. Any car you want. We'll put in 250,000 Rand cash towards that purchase, so that you get to drive off our parking lot in a brand new car. No DuePoint stickers. You see that? No T's and C's. No, you've got to give it back after 6 months. You don't have to share it with another wealth engineer. It is yours. This is rank 11. We go up to rank 28. What happens at rank 28? New husband, what? Rank 28, we believe, is about 20 years out. We have got long-term vision in this business that we're inviting you to share in. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. We're inviting you here to work hard and reap the benefits of hard work, right? So you don't have to depend on the economy. You don't have to depend on what your boss thinks about you. You don't have to worry about anything. You know that the effort that you're putting in, you're reaping reward out of that effort. That's very important, right? For our self-worth. So I invite you to join us. Like I said, we've got 9 months till the next rank 9 trip. If that's something you want to aspire to, maybe you only aspire to earning 2,500 Rand extra every month. Maybe that's enough for you, right? Everyone gets to choose which race they want to race. I invite you to join us in this business at DuePoint. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the Friday, an awesome year, a 2018 that separates itself from any other year in your life. I want you in 10 years' time to go, 2018 was the year. 2018 was the year when it changed for me. The rest of the population are going this way, and a few courageous people are going that way. So if you have any questions, come speak to me. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see a lot more of you. Thank you.